Good evening, everyone. And first of all, I'd like to dedicate this video to the poorly educated. I love the poorly educated. I love the not educated at all. The uneducated. That's a majority of Trump voters. You know, I used to think a majority of Trump voters were decent people that meant well, wanted the best for the country, just, thought a little different than me. But that's obviously not the case. You're still supporting him at this point. You are a just out-and-out fascist. I don't know what to tell you. There's no hope for you. No normal people in society will be accepting of you when this is all said and done. We look at you as a pariah. But I dedicate this video to them. I just like to thank them because, it's just so easy to play them like a fiddle, the same way Donnie Dumbass does. But then you got to remember at the end of the day, if you can elect an idiot like that, his supporters have to be even dumber than him. And I'm looking at them. I aim, for them every day. I'm fishing. I got the good bait out. Now, actually, I ain't used the good bait yet. But these guys are so easy. Like the other day, I made a video called Dark Days Ahead for Mr. Trump. And it's easily my best performing video of the at least the past 2 weeks. Over 100 views already in a couple of days. And of course, every reply is just a Trump cultist saying fake news, MAGA. And one guy said something psychotic today. He was like, he has to wade through all the Democratic BS, but don't worry, he's going to fix it permanently soon. I guess that guy's having like Hitler fantasies or something. He thinks Donald Trump's going to be a dictator, which is cute. But anyways, we're going to get right in this thing. All right, 1 in 4 Trump voters disappointed or regret voting for him. I'm scared. I like seeing Trump voters scared. You can tell when they're scared because they start spouting their stupid little mouths off. 1 in 4 Donald Trump voters regret voting for him or are disappointed by his early performance as president, a new poll suggests. Navigator research polls conducted April 24th through 28th among 1,000 registered voters found that 1 in 9, 11% of respondents who voted for Donald Trump in 2024 regretted having done so. Another 16% did not regret voting for him but were disappointed. And those people are lying. Those people are just don't have the balls to admit they were wrong. They weren't raised right to, be an adult and admit when you're wrong, that you made a mistake. But they made a colossal mistake, and it may cost them everything. I just saw a thing a minute ago that, of course, his supporters are going to be affected the worst by his policies, including the tariffs, because, once again, to remind you, and take a sip of my tea, 51% of Trump voters, 51% of people making $40,000 a year or less voted for Donald Trump. So, yeah, you're getting crushed. That's why you research who you're voting for, I know it's too late now, but we were literally warning you before the election that this was going to happen. And he promised you all these dumb policies, all the tariffs and whatnot. You still voted for him because the average American at the end of the day doesn't understand what a tariff is. But I think you understand now, or you're about to in about 2 weeks, when you can't afford anything. Among those who identify as moderates, 47 said they regretted voting for Trump or are disappointed by his early performance, while 43% of Trump voters, why didn't they say percent after this one? It threw me off, like 47 said. 43% of Trump voters who did not identify as MAGA said the same. But the vast majority, 73% of Trump voters, neither regret their vote nor feel disappointed by his first few months back in the Oval Office. And that's, like I said in the beginning of the video, that's cult members. Like Kyle Kalinske says all the time, he may have gotten half of the voting population, but it'll whittle away. And eventually we'll get down to about probably 25% of that, which is just the crazies. But right now we're still at about 75% of the people that voted for him, I guess, according to this math. But, a fourth of that has been whittled away. And eventually we'll get down to the real crazies. We might find out who the real crazies are. And Kyle says it's about 26% of the country, at least of the voting population. I believe that's about right, like the really committed crazies. But we're going to peel off if we've already peeled off 25% of his voters, or at least according to this poll, in 3 months, yeah, he's on a collision course with hell. He's not going to make it. Overall, Navigator's poll found that just 44% of voters surveyed approve of Trump's performance as president, while 54% disapprove. And I put my thumbnail the other day on my Mr. Trump video, the Dark Days Ever Mr. Trump. It was 39% approve, 55% disapprove on that poll. And, of course, they just came in with fake news. Yeah, I guess every poll is fake, huh? Every single poll is fake. And they probably believe that in their deluded, tiny little pea brains. This is down from 48% approval in February and up from 49% disapproval. Navigator Research said the poll has a margin of error of plus or negative 3.1%. The margin of error for subgroups varies and is higher. Alright, why it matters. Trump began his second term with higher approval ratings than ever, and he squandered it. Saw that. But in recent weeks, polls have begun to show his popularity rating firmly underwater after he released his new program of Liberation Day tariffs. Yay, he liberated us from common sense. Which rocked markets and heightened concerns about inflation and a possible recession. Hold on one second. Let me plug my laptop in. Got some battery, low battery here, folks. I'm glad I bought my laptop before the tariffs. We already stocked up on everything we need way before months ago. Back in like January, stocked up on meat, all that bullshit, because we knew this was coming. So you actually pay attention to the news. But people about to get caught off guard by this shit. You're crushed. And it's your fault. Nobody's going to feel sorry for you. A focus group held by Navigator Research alongside the poll also showed that independent voters in swing states Pennsylvania, Michigan, North Carolina are expressing deep regret and frustration over supporting Donald Trump in the 2024 election. I'm sure they are. All right, I'm glad this article keeps going. How long is this article? Oh, wow. We got a lot more to go. I thought it was over. I don't give a fuck. I got attention span. We can keep this bad boy going. One anonymous independent male voter from Michigan told the focus group, I had never voted for a candidate in a long time. I should have voted third party. No, you should have just... I can't even say what he should have done. I almost said it. It probably got me in trouble with this video. You shouldn't be voting. You shouldn't be breathing. I just wasted my vote at this point because I'm not happy. I'm scared that we're going to become a dictatorship, he says. Bruh, like I said, that's why you research before the election. You take the years you have before the election to do real research on your candidate, and you vote for somebody who has upstanding moral character and agrees with you on the ideas, the policies. But these people thought Donald Trump was a good guy, apparently, or that he was smart or competent, and now he's afraid we're going to become a dictatorship. Thanks, dumbass. You and the fucking 72 million idiots went out and doomed the country, and now it's too late. That guy's a fucking fool. And I hope he feels bad about this the rest of his life. I hope the guilt overwhelms him. Man, you just can't say what you really want to say. One Pennsylvania woman means nothing to me now. Not an American, not a person. Just a dumb-ass Trump voter who threw their intellect away to Donnie Dumbass. And he ain't alone. One Pennsylvania woman called his behavior asinine and questioned her vote, while a Michigan man said he wished he had chosen a third party. What is this third party bullshit? There was another candidate, but she was a black woman. You couldn't vote. You had to vote. He said he wished you vote third party. These people are so full of shit. And said the country's veering towards authoritarianism. But in their little pea brains, they probably thought Kamala was a fascist too. These people are stupid. They're uneducated. And Trump said he loves the uneducated for a reason. They're gullible. You can treat me, give them a little propaganda, grease the wheels a little bit, a little red meat for these dumb pieces of trash. You could have them out doing anything. People are desperate enough. And Donnie Dumbass understands that, how easy it is to manipulate desperate people. Another Pennsylvania woman criticized Trump for failing to deliver on promises related to the economy, veterans, homelessness. So he failed on everything, basically. Saying he hasn't helped the vulnerable groups he played. Why would Trump help vulnerable groups, man? People are so naive. And it's probably an older woman, too. Just based on trends, voting trends, older people vote more than younger people. This is pathetic. How can people be so naive in your old age? I hate this country. How stupid. It's not even naivete. It's not ignorance. It's stupidity. Because you have fucking historical basis to base this on. It's called George W. Bush and Trump's first term. The fuck is wrong with America? People are dumb. It comes as several pollsters have suggested in recent weeks that Trump's approval ratings have fallen significantly between his January 20th inauguration and his 100-day mark. That includes Navigator's poll. We're not going to go over these numbers again. The poll also found that Americans say that Trump has done more bad than good by a margin of 15 points. It should be higher than that. What good has he done? I made a video the other day asking Trump voters, can you name one policy that's positively impacted your life? I got nothing. Because it doesn't exist. These people are lying to themselves. So they got nothing but propaganda and lies. Other polls also found Trump's approval rating is dropped in the latest. Man, can't I get joy out of this? I love this. I'm glad these people feel this guilt over their vote. Maybe you'll learn something this time. I doubt it, but maybe it's possible. The YouGov Yahoo poll conducted between April 25th through 28th among 1,597 respondents, his approval dropped from 44% to 42%, while disapproval rose from 50% to 53%, widening his net negative from -6 to -11. Poll had a margin of error of +2 or -2.9 percentage points. And of course, they'll come here and say fake news because they don't understand any polls or what data, how to read data, interpret data. These people didn't go to college. A lot of these Trumpos didn't finish high school. You just turn 18, you get to vote. This dumbass country. Emerson, you should at least have to have a high school diploma to vote. I'll say that. Emerson College also released a poll today which showed that Trump's approval rating had dropped marginally from 47% to 45% since March, while his disapproval rating has stayed the same at 45%. Man, this shit is a cult. You just can't move these people. The most recent poll was conducted. A train's coming by. We got to wrap this up. All right, I'll leave the link in the description of the poll. I don't think I'm gonna get much more in because like I said, train's coming. It'll black out all my sound. According to the Navigator poll, Trump's approval on the economy is underwater. -16, 40% approval versus 50% disapprove. His approval rating on the economy is lowest ever in Navigator's tracking. One key economic issue is it's gonna be the tariffs, right? On inflation and cost of living, his approval is -29 on tariffs. Is -26. And across both areas, inflation and tariffs, only Republicans who identify as MAGA are still supporting Trump. It's the cult. They don't understand anything. All right, man, I'll be back a little later on for more articles, more Trump polls. Here's the train. See ya.